For today's lesson, I've provided for you the top 30 words that end with FUL. I've also provided their definitions and some examples of the use of each word in sentences. Are you ready to become familiar with these words? Let's go. Number 1, awful, meaning extremely bad or unpleasant. Examples: he suffered awful injuries in the crash. We had awful weather. Beautiful, very attractive. A beautiful woman was selling flowers on the street. We saw some breathtakingly beautiful scenery. Careful, giving a lot of attention to what you're doing so that you do not have an accident, make a mistake, or damage something. Be careful to look both ways when you cross the road. Michael is a very careful worker. Cheerful, happy, and positive. You're in a cheerful mood this morning. She manages to stay cheerful despite everything. Colorful, having bright colors or a lot of different colors. He had drawn a colorful painting. Colorful costumes are very attractive. Cupful, the amount held by a cup. Add 2 cupfuls of milk to the mixture. I need a cupful of sugar for this recipe. Delightful, very pleasant, attractive, or enjoyable. Our new neighbors are delightful. Thank you for a delightful evening. Doubtful. If you're doubtful about something, you're uncertain about it. If a situation is doubtful, it is unlikely to happen or to be successful. The teacher is doubtful about having parents working as classroom assistants. It was doubtful that the money would ever be found again. Dreadful, causing fear, shock, or suffering. The news report was so dreadful that I just had to switch it off. The dreadful sufferings of the people during this war makes me sad. Faithful, firm and not changing in your friendship with, or support for a person or an organization, or in your belief in your principles. A faithful friend is a gift in life. His faithful old dog accompanied him everywhere he went. Fearful, frightened or worried about something. He hesitated before calling her, fearful of what she might say. She is fearful that she may lose custody of her children. Fruitful, producing good results. It was a most fruitful discussion, with both sides agreeing to adopt a common policy. He had a long and fruitful career as a research chemist. Grateful, showing or expressing thanks, especially to another person. I'm so grateful to you for all that you have done. After the earthquake, we felt grateful to be alive. Harmful, causing harm. This group of chemicals is known to be harmful to people with asthma. It was notable that antidepressants were more often rated by the public as likely to be harmful than helpful. Helpful, willing to help, or useful. She's such a pleasant, helpful child. He made several helpful suggestions. Hopeful, having hope. He was hopeful about the outcome of the meeting. They were hopeful of a successful agreement. Meaningful, intended to show meaning, often secretly, important or valuable. He raised one eyebrow in a meaningful way. She found it difficult to form meaningful relationships. Mindful, careful not to forget about something. Mindful of the poor road conditions, she reduced her speed to 30 mph. Politicians are increasingly mindful that young voters are turning away from traditional parties. Painful, causing emotional or physical pain. The old photograph brought back painful memories. A painful injury forced her to withdraw from the game. Peaceful, without violence. People made peaceful demonstrations on the streets. There has been a dramatic shift in public opinion towards peaceful negotiations. Plentiful. If something is plentiful, there is a lot of it available. Strawberries are plentiful in the summer. I took a plentiful supply of games to keep the children amused. Powerful, having a lot of power to control people and events. She is the most powerful person in the organization. Today's teachers are not the powerful authority figures they once were. Rightful. A rightful possession or claim is one that is morally or legally correct, having a just and fair claim according to the law. Don't forget that I'm the rightful owner of this house. The stolen property was returned to the rightful owners. Successful. Achieving the results wanted or hoped for. He had a successful operation. This year's harvest was one of the most successful since the record crop of 1985. Thoughtful. Carefully considering things. Quiet because you are thinking about something. Kind and always thinking about how you can help other people. Thank you for calling when I was ill. It was very thoughtful of you. She is a very thoughtful person. Unlawful. Not allowed by law. Unlawful possession of guns. It is unlawful for any investment advisor to engage in fraudulent or manipulative practices. Unsuccessful. Not achieving the hoped for result. Not successful. They made several unsuccessful attempts to reach the man. His application was unsuccessful. Useful. Effective. Helping you to do or achieve something. A good knife is probably one of the most useful things you can have in a kitchen. Do the exercises serve any useful purpose? Wonderful. Extremely good. He is a wonderful cook. We had a wonderful time in Italy last summer. Youthful. Having the qualities that are typical of young people. Young. At the time, I admired his youthful enthusiasm. She has very youthful skin. It is worthwhile here to point out a few important grammatical notes about words ending with "full." As you may know, "full" is a suffix. A suffix is a word part that is attached to the end of a word to make a new word from that. This suffix has taken its meaning from the word "full," which means as much as possible or a lot. However, when used as a suffix, it is written with only one L. A general rule about suffixes is that they can change the part of a speech of a word. For example, if you add "full" to a noun like beauty, it changed into an adjective, beautiful. Most of the time, when "full" is added to the end of a noun, it changed into an adjective. Nevertheless, there are words that when we add "full" to them, their part of a speech does not change. For example, if "full" is added to the noun hand, it becomes handful, which is still a noun, meaning an amount of something that can be held in one hand. Learning about suffixes and prefixes, called affixes generally, can help you not only to make different words from one word, but it actually plays the role of a code. By learning affixes, you can manage to decode and guess the meaning of words that you have not heard or seen before.